Hey, good morning, guys. Morning Minutes with James Lamplow, Mark Novak, and we've got a special guest on this morning, Marhan from Harcourts, New South Wales and ACT. Episode 224, I think we have Mark. Gentlemen, how are we?
Amazing. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Mark, how are you?
Good, legend. Blue skies today.
Blue skies. We had some rubbish weather at the beginning of the week, so hopefully it's on the upside now.
Oh, yeah. It's been cold.
Same with you over in the city over there, Mahan?
Yeah, man. It's been raining, and I keep forgetting my umbrella, so I've stacked up on 4 new umbrellas this week, which is great.
I lost my umbrella at the auction. It never came back to me on the weekend. But anyway, guys, what I'd like to talk about this morning is a little bit about the differences between independent groups, franchises. So Mark, owning an independent real estate agency for 18 or so years, and Marhan now, just to qualify for the audience, and I'll let you do this yourself in a moment, CEO of Harcourts, New South Wales and ACT, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what's your role and how did you get there, Marhan?
So I kicked off with Harcourts a little close to 7 years ago. And my role at the time was to open up their franchises. So predominantly meeting independent officers, other franchises, and discussing our brand and everything else. And when I kicked off, we had about 18 officers, and at our peak, we hit about 40 officers within 5 years. So that was significant growth.
Yep.
About 2 years ago, I decided to buy into the brand itself. So, I put my money where my mouth is as well and became a business owner in that respect, and bought into Harcourts. And then the CEO at the time decided to leave. So the opportunity came up, I put my hand up, became the general manager for a year, just running the ship, and then stepped into the CEO role. So that's a really, really summed out version of it.
Wow. And
it's been a great journey, man. It's been, a lot of ups and downs and struggles, and all these gray hairs weren't here initially when I kicked off, but here we are. It's all good.
Well, I think that's on the way for me. Go on, Mike.
It's on the way. And listen, from the franchise perspective, I think does it matter from people watching as a consumer of real estate services, whether you're a buyer or a renter, is it less relevant or more relevant, or is it more for the principals and the staff members where a good franchise can kick in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I think it certainly has an ecosystem around it, Mark. From a consumer's perspective, their listing gets viewed across the world. If that matters to them or not, more eyeballs on it, the better. And as well as they get a level of service that is, approved by a board, approved by years and years of training and services. So they are going through a certain level of motion, a certain level of training that, has gone through a lot of traps and everything else. From a principal's perspective, obviously, it is important for them to be part of a network that's large or a smaller network as far as the franchise goes. Having that network, having those, peers, training, services, and everything else that comes with it. And from an agent perspective, what we're seeing at the moment is that people want to be part of a bigger picture. So it gives them a level of confidence when they're sitting in front of their clients. So it does have a bit of an ecosystem around it. But at the same time, saying that, independent groups like yourself who've been around for a very long time, they've got that ecosystem. So it does come down to the individual ultimately when it comes to a franchise,
Yeah, right. So
sorry, man. And when you look at franchises, as a person that's selling franchises, which are the brands out there in Australia that you go, shit, they're weapons as franchise systems? Like, which are the ones that you guys admire?
Well, we try not to sort of look at that in that respect. We just try and improve ourselves consistently. I've always felt like if you're looking at your competition, you ultimately become a copycat.
Yeah, good point. I meant as in non-real estate franchises.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like which are the ones that are doing a really good job in their environments?
Yep. I would say you got your groups like Highlands. They do really, really well. Further south.
Oh, sorry. I asked the question really bad. I mean, non-real estate, as in, McDonald's and Harvey Norman's and
so
those
different industries.
Which are the ones? Because you guys are big in your business, in the real estate business. But when you look around and look at other franchise models, which franchise models do you look around and go, shit, they run a really good? Like for instance, me, I think McDonald's does a wonderful job. What do you look at and think, fuck, they do a really good job?
There was a pool company recently we came across. Sorry to say, I totally forgot the name of them, but they tend to do a really good job as far as qualifying the individual that comes on board with them. So they go through a really, really comprehensive, basically scrutinizing the individual's character, their motivation, why they want to do it, and everything else. I thought they were doing an excellent job. Obviously, McDonald's have got the franchise model down pat. You get the same burger anywhere in the world, which is incredible. I tend to admire gyms a little bit as well. Gyms mowing, gyms, whatever. Like the guy is incredible. Like he's so flexible. And everything goes with the brand power. His name is the brand, and he just attaches it to anything, and it becomes successful. The guy has so many different franchises under his belt, which is crazy. I love it.
So there's Jim's antennas, Jim's mowing.
Jim's cafe now.
No.
That's it, man. He's pitching it. He's pitching it to everybody. It's incredible. It's really, really cool. And I think he has something like 37 different franchises under Jim.
No.
That's it. I'll send you a photo of it later on. It's incredible. Bathing, whatever you want. The beauty of it is that it's the brand, and he just adds another line to it. It's Jim's whatever, I'm surprised he hasn't gone into Jim's gym.
That's what I thought you said when you said Jim.
Nah, Jim's is incredible, man. He's doing a great job. He's certainly ticking a lot of boxes. But obviously you've got McDonald's and everything else that's out there. Hungry Jacks, I don't really admire them, to tell you the truth. As far as the franchise goes, KFC's done well throughout time as far as food industries go. But you do tend to find a lot of older generation franchises that tend to fall short in rebuilding themselves, reshaping their branding and evolving with time. So a lot of them do fall short along the way, but there are certainly some strong ones out there.
So Marhan, costs so money, does so much money. Sorry, James.
That's all right. So we were talking a little bit briefly about how Harcourts has gone through some rebranding. And from the franchising perspective, how difficult or easy is it to pass things along that then flows through to all of the different franchises within the business? Or is it something where the business owners still have a lot of power to negotiate what they do, or do they all have to follow the exact same model within that franchise?
Look, I think our franchise is quite flexible in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to marketing. We obviously have a set brand that we need to follow, and that's why you join a franchise. That you want that unified look. How hard is it to roll out? It has its challenges. That's certainly a point to be made. But what we tend to do is every state has a CEO. Every state has its account managers and a team around them. So everything we do is ground level to and tailored to the state. So when it comes to brand refreshers and discussions like that with our business owners. We tend to catch up with them on our business owners meeting on a monthly basis, have the marketing managers come and discuss it, what we're doing and what it's going to look like. Here's a manual, here's where you get everything from, and so forth. Obviously, there's always going to be some teething issues along the way with certain changes like that. But, you know, at least we have big teams to take care of those issues. And a lot of our changes come off the back of discussions with our business owners. So we don't have that mentality where like, hey, this is it, you got to do it. You know, it's been a collaboration. Like these refreshers taken 6 months. It's a 6-month project for our marketing team to put together with the feedback of a lot of our business owners, and they pilot it and everything else. So, you know, it certainly is a collaboration when it comes to our business. And that is one thing that I truly love about Harcourts, is that we are a family. We look after each other, and we certainly listen. And we really do care about our people's feedback when it comes to things like that. Yeah.
But as a master, I guess, is it master franchise? What is your biggest stress? What are the things that drive you crazy every day? What are the hardest points of being a master franchise?
We don't have a master franchise, Mark. So we're all franchised. The head office is designed to service our people. So our role is predominantly, like my role with my BDM is to do quarterly business plans with every single business owner we have. And off the back of that, we identify areas that they want to focus on and develop training and services on that. So every single business we have has a tailor-made business plan for it, which is quite comprehensive. And, you know, that's part of the service that you're part
So what's
of.
your hardest point? What would be the number 1, 2, and 3 hardest things to do in your business?
I think recruitment's always one. You know, attracting good people to our business, from a leadership as well as sales agents. You know, ultimately, when you give a flag to somebody to carry for you within a territory, that is your branding. You know, if say Mahan took on a franchise and it failed, it's Harcourts that failed, not Mahan. But you know, on the flip side is if it succeeds, it's Mahan that succeeded. So you got to be very careful who you introduce into your network. That's a massive challenge, and you really don't know people until they come on board ultimately. So we try our best to obviously have that filter to make sure we have the right characters. The other side, the other things is obviously keeping up all of our technology for our people, making sure that they have the right level of training, the right level of support. What is that? What does that look like? So we're always evolving and getting people's feedback in those spaces. So, and yeah, growth, man. Growth is very challenging a lot of the times, especially when you're going through a pandemic. But, you know, you just got to keep hustling, as I always say.
Yeah. And what about from your perspective there, Mark, where you've obviously run and owned Novak Properties for 18 years and you started it from the ground, and now we've got an agency with 50 members of staff or more. What have been some of the biggest challenges for you as the principal and director from day one?
Staff.
Staffing.
I think staffs are probably the hardest thing and I think any friends, family that I'm talking to in business, it's common that's probably, you know, the hardest thing for us. And I think when we realized that we got better at staff training, and we became more of a university, number one, and then number 2, a real estate agency. So we're a university of real estate agency services. And then number 2, we're a real estate agency. That's when the business really started firing along. Probably at that 4 or 5 year point when that, you know, we took training really, really seriously and got, you know, create a great help create with those people, brilliant agents.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Mark, because from my experience, when it comes to recruiting, there's only really three reasons why anybody leaves an environment. And the first one is they butt heads with the principal, or the principal's taken some of the listings, or whatever, you know, the scenario is. The second reason is training and development. It's so crucial for any environment to have that down pat. So if Mahan joins your business, hey, this is the next 2 years. This is what it's going to look like for you. These are the training facilities you have available. And the third thing is, and one of the most funniest one is recognition. Recognition is so important when it comes to sales agents, property managers, anybody in your business. Recognition is so important. A pat on the back is worth so much to them. And I think that's one of the reasons why we do a quarterly awards as opposed to an annual one. So every quarter we get together at Dalton House.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is, man. And the thing with it is that it really helps our business owners grow, because say Mahan, I always use myself as an example. Say Mahan joins your business and I'm at a bronze level sales agent. All of a sudden, I'm seeing all the silver agents going up, and gold and platinum, and then top 10. And I'm like, how do I get there? What do I got to do to get to that level? And from that point, when you get to top 10 and you're number one in the state, then you go number one nationally. Then you go number one internationally. So your roof is always growing, and every quarter you've got that facility available for you. So again, that ecosystem of training, development, you know, what's my next step? What's my next step? And you're continuously going up. That's the benefit of being in a franchise, you know. But those are the three key reasons why I've noticed anybody ever leaves an environment, in my experience.
Sick. So in Nugget, so out of today, so guys, if you've just tuned in, what we're talking about is the in franchises, out of franchises. Mahan's in the CEO of the New South Wales and Queensland franchise.
No, ACT
franchise. And mate, thank you so much for your time. That's been really cool just to run through that stuff. James, any question before we roll out?
I've probably got a ton for him afterwards.
You've had some cracker ones.
Yeah, look, I'm just intrigued by the scale and the enormity of it. And again, we've covered the challenges and some of the things that you go through being the CEO of the Harcourts, but more just wanting to know about monitoring and how you actually put that onto paper with the development of staff and things like that. That was unbelievable about quarterly awards, and I can see why that would work so well. A little bit difficult in the last 9 to 12 months with everything happening. What did you do for that? Did you do Zoom sort of?
Yeah, we did. No, not at all. No way. That's a key point of our culture is recognition. We took it all on Zoom. So, you know, we had this beautiful blue screen, and it looked like the awards. It looked like the Oscars. And, you know, everyone's face came up. The winner's face came up next to them. It was done really, really professionally and really, really nice. I actually quite liked it. And the recognition's got to be there, man. It's the most important thing. It's like we work so hard, and to get recognized on those sort of platforms is crucial for our people. So no, there's no way we're gonna get rid of that. And you know, like, remember, every business has its business plan that gets reviewed every quarterly, and we touch base with them on a monthly basis. All their sales agents have the same business plan, so they know exactly where they're going, how they're going to get there, and what level of training they're going to need as well. So, you know, that's another level to that service. But one size does not fit all. So we got to really know our people. We got to really understand where they want to be and how they want to get there. Some people want to be that $6 million office. Some people just want to be a local mum and dad office. But let's just be the best mum and dad office we can be, you know, and help you get where you want to be. So we're flexible in that sense.
Yeah. To get a Harcourt franchise, do you need, if you said the mum and dad, you know, getting into business, do the operators need to be in business already for a couple of years, or you can step into a Harcourts, you know, if you have the vision?
Look, I think I take on people if they have the right attitude. However, they do need to have some, at least a year or 2 years experience in real estate, even if they were agents and they're looking to take that next step and as a startup. I'm happy to work with them and support them and everything else. But obviously, would prefer somebody that has been in business, that know that they're outgoing. There's so many expenses that come along with owning a business, So yeah.
How much does it cost to open an agency? And how much does it cost? Oh yeah, like if someone wants to start a real estate agency and make it, also have it as a hard course, what sort of money would they be looking at spending?
Look, as far as Harcourts go as a brand, we don't charge people upfront money. There's an application fee, which is next to nothing, that obviously goes through, and we scrutinize the individual. But I don't believe in charging people an upfront fee to take on your brand. I'd rather you use that money to buy a rent roll or just have cash flow into your business. I want to ensure that you're a successful business. The shop fit out, we have a standard, obviously, with the look and feel and the colors that go along with that. I've seen some people spend 50 grand on a shop fit out. I've seen some people spend 200 grand, but there's no real measure with us in that respect. I'd rather you use that money to cash flow yourself in the first 12 months because ultimately we want to get you profitable as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And how much would an average real estate office earn, or if you had like a Harcourts franchise and you just started and you'd been in business a couple of years? Because I think a lot of people, want to have their own real estate business and sort of think, I wonder how much is in it. Do agents do well? You sort of, doctors, electricians, plumbers, but what does an average agency earn across New South Wales?
Look, it varies from different areas and different experiences. I mean, we put on, say, Mark Suller down in Greenacre. Within a year, he was writing $1 million GCI, and quite profitable in that respect. And then you've got other businesses that we put on that want to focus on property management first. So it does vary. And that's the flexibility within our network, is that we sit down with you and do that business plan. We identify where you want to be, and we guide you through that and help you with the training and facilities along the way. But that business plan is crucial to understand what your motivation is and how we're going to make you successful year on year. So yeah, look, it changes, man. It's very different location by location. So yeah, can't give it like an average around it.
Yeah. All right. Last question from me, light one. The ties.
The ties. Gotta have it, man. Look at this. It's
gotta have it.
On it.
Who brought it in? How long's that been going for?
Can I tell you a little story about it? I know we've gone over time a little bit, but I was sitting at one of a cafe, waiting for one of my business owners to come along, and we were just catching up for a quick cup of coffee. And I'm sitting there, just minding my own business, not talking to anyone on my phone. I literally had 3 different people come up to me and ask me what the market's like. And no word of a lie. This is one of my favorite stories to tell people. And by the third one, I just said, hey, have I got agent written on my forehead or something? Like, I don't understand. Why are you asking me this question? And he said, oh, you're Thai, you're Harcourts, you're Thai. And I was like, wow, that's brand power right there. That's incredible. 3 people sitting at Starbucks in St. Mary's, waiting for my business owners to get to me. And 3 people just come up to me asking me about property. That's incredible.
I can't see your tie.
You can't, man.
Nah.
Hey, the blue and red. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Look, we're proud to wear it, man.
But it's true, eh? Like I think in business, like having that tie, and I think looking professional. I think brand identity is great on top of that. But it's nice that people, but you look like a real estate agent rather than a rock star. And do you know what I mean? And then people identify with that, support that, ask you that question, and for all you know, you could have picked up a listing.
You don't know, or you just you know, you met 3 new people that might have other listings, or someone that might have a listing. So you just don't know. It has a ripple effect around it. Remember Century 21, they used to have the mustard jackets.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Massive.
That
Massive.
You walk around with that, people know you're an agent. It's brand power. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like, we encourage it. We obviously say, look, agents should wear it and whatnot. Definitely at corporate events. But, you know, we don't enforce it. At the same time, it's only going to do you good. People knowing that you represent Harcourts. So it's great.
Yeah. I'm a big believer of the old tie. But thank you to that today for your time.
My pleasure, boys. Thanks for having me.
There was some good insights there, James. Always love James's questions.
Sometimes
It's been a pleasure, boys. Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it, guys.
See you, mate.
Enjoy it.
Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.